The boomers gotta go. I know, that's a horrible thing to say. Don't care. The boomers gotta go. And really, a lot of their kids, they need to go too. But the boomers gotta go first. The reality of our situation in this country is we have a country run by a group of geriatrics. These are people that you wouldn't want to give the keys to your car to, but they're running our country. And what they're really doing is running it straight into a wall. And honestly, it's not because they're evil necessarily. They're just really, really selfish, self-centered, narcissistic fucks. I mean, really think about it. They were born at the best time in the history of this country. The absolute best time. From the end of World War II until the early 70s was the halcyon era of the United States. It was the era of the sock hop and drive up and all kinds of really cool shit, and everybody was making money hand over fist. You could have one job, buy a house, have two cars, and raise a family. You got a pension because of that one job. There was automatic retirement, incredible incentives from the military if you had service. The wealth that was hoarded by the greatest generation, the survivors of the Great Depression, and so on. And what have they done with it? What did they do with it? They went fucking nuts.
I mean, he's right. You know, boomers do need to go. They need to go. I've been saying this and I'm going to continue to say it. They need to go. However, I don't trust Gen Z either. I don't trust millennials either. Hell, I don't trust anybody, but boomers need to go, right? They are the most selfish generation to ever exist in history. They own most of the wealth in the United States of America, if not the whole entire world. They aren't the each one teach one generation. They're the ones who told you to pick yourselves up by your own bootstraps. Meanwhile, Daddy Government, Uncle Sam, they've been, kindly putting on their boots and tying up their boots for them, right? While the rest of us continuously have to deal with the ever-changing society, which directly impacts us. See, they were able to, go to school for $1, buy a house for $2, buy a can of Coke for, pennies on $1, right? But yet they continue to tell us that, we're the problem, right? If you were to ask me, I would say we're all around effed. Right. We have boomers who are, running the government into the ground. They're telling us, the price of Chipotle is okay. Right. Damn, they're almost a $30 burrito is okay. Right. A $30 meal for one person is absolutely fine. You just need to work hard. Right. If you can't afford a $30 burrito, if you can't afford $30 worth of Chipotle, which is one meal, right? I'm a little bit exaggerating, but it's damn near close once you count taxes and depending on what side of the country you're on, right? If you can't afford to spend, $20+ on a meal, you're not working hard enough. And listen, I'm an advocate for, working hard towards the right direction, right? But I'm also an advocate of working smart. And there's nothing in the United States right now that allows people to work their smartest, right? Everybody say, work harder, work harder, work harder. Work harder in what direction, right? Work harder when I'm making, $20 an hour here, when I'm making $15 an hour here, and then when I'm driving Uber Eats and, everything else, Lyft, whatever else that's out there, all the ride share, the gig work, keep working hard, work hard. You'll get there someday, right? You'll never get there, right? Which is a proven fact. You'll never, at this pace, right? At this pace, you'll never get there. You won't get there with, damn sure not with one job. The American dream, you won't get there with 2 jobs. You probably won't even get there with 3 jobs. Right? If you're not making, and I've said this before, if you're not making $150,000 plus, you might as well go ahead and bow out the game, my boy. Go ahead and bow yourself out the game because the game is over.
Welcome to the Afterpill.co, your one-stop shop hub for everything that I offer. Whether you're here to book a one-on-one coaching call, join the Patreon community, explore Horizon Atlas, your relocation app, or access my latest content and resources, you'll find it all right here. Choose your path, take action, and start building the life you want.
And if you can't find a way to get your hands on making that kind of money every single year, go ahead and bow out the game. Go ahead and go back to the drawing board, figure something out, because it ain't going to work. But I agree with them, right? Something needs to be done about the boomers. And by no means am I advocating for any kind of violence or any kind of, harm done to people of the boomer age. That is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying, the clock needs to speed up. Right, the clock does need to speed up, but I'm gonna ask you a question. What happened? What happens when the boomers leave? I want you to ask yourself that. What happens when the boomers leave? Right? Are they leaving it in good hands, even though their hands were dirty? Filled up with blood, all kinds of things on their hands, right? But even still, the country has been ran somewhat. All right. Right. I mean, yeah, we've had plenty of bumps, a lot of bumps. Right. And clearly it's on a roller coaster heading into the dang on floor. But if they were to hand it off, would they be handing it off in good hands? I'm going to go ahead and say no. I will go ahead and say no. And part of the reason is because of boomers themselves. Right. They didn't teach the younger generations anything, right? I remember I was going back and forth with this guy. He said Gen Z is so violent, and that's why boomers don't really want to interact with the younger generations. The younger generation is just so emotional and violent, and I'm not disagreeing with them. However, I said, okay, I asked them, okay, and who do you think that they've learned it from all of these decades? Who do you think they've learned it from? We have a president in the highest office, most important office in the world, who throw temper tantrums when he doesn't get his way. And he's like 80 something years old. You have boomers who refuse to teach anything. Now, I'm not saying that Gen Z and millennials are not without fault. That is not what I'm saying at all. Absolutely not. However, a lot of the things that Gen Z are today is because of their parents and because of their grandparents. To some extent, people always like to say, well, y'all keep on blaming the boomers. To some extent, I mean, who else do you... Who do you blame for? Okay, everybody likes to talk about the bad kid, right? Everybody talks about the bad kid. Okay, don't we hold bad parenting responsible for that bad kid's behavior? Don't we hold the people that raised that criminal up to be the murderer that they grew up to be? Don't we hold the parents, the families responsible? Or, well, at least we're supposed to. So why can't we hold boomers responsible for, not leading? I would say leading a generation, but not leading a generation to the direction that they need to be. Why can't we place that responsibility and accountability on them? I'm not saying take away accountability from people. Absolutely not. People still should be accountable for their own lives. People still should be responsible for their own lives. However, the boomers have done a lot of damage, man. Boomers, the warmongers, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Hard work pays off. Just go to school and get a degree. Yeah, those guys. Go to school and get in debt. Meanwhile, we weren't doing anything but making boomers richer and richer. We weren't doing anything but paying into a system that continues to fill their pockets while everybody else gets priced out of the market. So I think if the quote unquote system were to ever restore, yeah, boomers will have to go. They would have to go first before the system resets itself. Right? Because otherwise, I mean, it's done. I mean, I would say it's done anyway. Boomers are on the way out anyway. Boomers are on the way out, right? Wealth is being transferred at an astronomical rate as they go out the door. But at the same time, we're literally seeing the system collapse on itself. We're literally seeing in real time that, the system is completely changing. I mean, we're literally going from a true, I mean, if ever we did stay in a true capitalistic, free market, which was in the boomers time period, we're going from that to a vice market. Honestly, we're going from a true consumer, a true free market to a vice market. We're going into an enslavement market, right? We're going into a prediction market, right? We're coming out of the investment, hold on to money, put money into your 401ks. And man, listen, nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. Nobody wants to do that. And first and foremost, many people can't even afford to even do that. Most people can't afford to put money up in their 401k. Right? People would spend money on a lottery ticket every single day rather than put money in the 401k. That's just where we at. People will also gamble on these prediction markets. They will gamble on these prediction markets before they ever put money into their savings account. Why? I'll tell you why. A lot of people are feeling the pressure of possibly being left behind. Yep. They're feeling the pressure of possibly being left behind. You have 70 to 80% of people saying that they do some kind of they do some form of fashion, some kind of gambling. This is going to increase. We're going to start seeing more and more, prediction markets. A lot of the big platforms, they already have it. So we're moving out of traditional investing. We're moving out of the traditional 9 to 5. Everything traditional, we're moving out of. This is what I've been warning y'all against. This is what I've been telling y'all. You better get in where you fit in. So, to be honest, given my assessment, I don't even blame people, man. To be honest with you, I don't even blame people. Just think about it. If you could place a bet, on something, let's say you place a bet for a few $100s, right? That few $100, if you're correct, right, can land you, I don't know, $10K. You putting $200 in to get $10K. I mean, $10K is life-changing money, right? Not life-changing like you're just gonna be driving Lambos, but $10K is breathing room. $10K, you can sit back and be like, oh man, finally, while you think about your next move. I understand. Now think about you put in $500 to $1,000, right? That can land you, I don't know, $50K. Right now we're talking about big money. I don't blame people, even though I feel like it's still a a dog chasing his tail. It's still like gambling in the casino, right? The house is going to win most of the time. You're going to have a few people that luck up and get those big payouts, get those life-changing payouts. Yeah, you're going to get those people, because if not, I mean, the business kind of loses business model, right? So somebody has to still win, and somebody will win. Some people will win, but that is the markets that we're entering into. That is the world that we're entering into. We're all that going to a 9 to 5, working a 9 to 5 job, all of that, traditionalism, the traditional markets, putting your money, all that stuff is dead. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, some of the most sustainable things like real estate, gold, precious metals, those things are going to be around. Those things are always going to be around. Those things are always going to be, you know, a hedge, right? Those things are just going to be there, right? People are going to always need somewhere to lay their head down. They're going to always need shelter. They're going to always need food, and they're going to always need water. And people are going to always need money. So some things are just not going away, right? However, man, we're entering into a brand new market. And yeah, boomers need to go, but it won't change anything, right? We're well past the point of change in that aspect of things. The way he's talking, he's more specifically talking about change in a way. No, I think he's talking about moving forward. I definitely think he's talking about moving forward, because the way that the boomers are still running the government and still running society, like we still stay in their time, right? When clearly we're transitioning, right? Clearly the markets are changing. Clearly a lot of things are being uprooted, and clearly, you know, the way that we view money, the way that we view work, the way that we view everything in life in 2026 is completely changed, has completely changed, right? So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. You know, do you agree, disagree? How about those damn boomers, right? Leave a comment down there. Make sure you hit the link in the description, right? Check out the Patreon, check out my website, and also check out horizonatlas.ai, your relocation app. If you've been thinking about relocating, if you want to know more information about relocating, or if you just want to take a visit, you know, check out residencies, check out said country you want to possibly visit, go to horizonatlas.ai, and also check out the website down below. Hit the link in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Listen, the after pill is the ideology. The escape blueprint is the framework. And PFP life is how you should live, in purpose, in freedom, and in power. I see you.
Welcome to the afterpill.co, your one-stop shop hub for everything that I offer. Whether you're here to book a one-on-one coaching call, join the Patreon community, explore Horizon Atlas, your relocation app, or access my latest content and resources, you'll find it all right here. Choose your path, take action, and start building the life you want.